You're watching BNN Bloomberg. I'm John Ehrlichman. Stocks, more of a cautious feel as we start this Thursday trading session. Let's head to New York now. Check in with Bloomberg News' Kriti Gupta. And Kriti, you always are contributing to the Bloomberg Markets blog right at 9:30. I'm reading what you were writing. I mean, from jobless claims to spending data, and then, of course, the story coming out of Europe. There was a lot to digest as we got ready for the opening bells today.
That's right. Really kicking it off with the economic data here in the States. You are seeing another 3.8 million in initial jobless claims. That brings the total amount of filings since this crisis to over 30 million. That's 30 million unemployed people and still counting off of this coronavirus pandemic. You are also seeing personal consumption really take quite a bit of a hit, dropping the most on record. So really see some poor economic data, really enforcing this idea that the economy, although we are talking about reopening, is still very much largely shut down. We are still in a bit of a pinch there. You're also seeing a similar warning come from across the ocean, across the Atlantic, from Madame Lagarde with her ECB presser this morning, just talking about, well, maybe in the second quarter we actually might see the euro area shrink by as much as 15%. That coming from Madame Lagarde. Really important to note here broadly is that the global economy is still in a bit of trouble. You are seeing this on the economic front, and of course the stocks reflecting that today.
You know, I'm sitting here every day and you see what the airline industry is navigating right now. And I mean, I don't know how they're doing it, but we're getting a real-time look at how American Airlines is navigating through it today. They came out with their results.
That's right. We've been seeing earnings really kind of roll out. The big kind of story, big overall theme here is just how is the American consumer doing. When you have these job losses, when you have kind of a crunch on paychecks, when you need these extra subsidies from the government, of course, how is the American consumer faring, and how much are they really willing to spend their money and really churn the economy? And you're seeing this, the answer to that be not so rosy. You're seeing that in American Airlines earnings reflecting some pretty big stock losses. That's, of course, as we see the travel and tourism sector really taking a hit off this pandemic. American Airlines saying that there could be a fundamental change in consumer behavior. Posted a pretty strong adjusted loss, worse than estimates. You're also seeing the CEO say, well, maybe this would mean a shift in kind of how the business models run, that 50% of the cabin could be empty now as they continue to fly those planes. You're also seeing that cash burn really drop. They usually do about 70 million per day. They're dropping that down to 50 million, also highlighting that, well, those travel refunds really growing there. 900 million reported in the first quarter. They're expecting 1.2 to 1.3 billion of travel refunds in the second quarter. So really not a good picture for the travel and tourism sector right now.
And then also trying to get a sense on the picture ahead for some of the big energy companies as they deal with the fallout from COVID-19 and the collapse in oil prices. One story we haven't had a chance to talk much about today is Chesapeake. Tell us what's going on with Chesapeake.
That's right. So we do know oil is an industry that's very much been under pressure, once again, on this massive theme of consumer demand. There's no kind of reason to travel right now. There's no reason to kind of hop in your car, take that summer vacation just yet. So you're really seeing those prices take a hit, and that's, of course, showing up in energy stocks as well. Chesapeake Energy, one of those big energy names, actually going through potential bankruptcy. Reports circulating here that Chesapeake Energy is looking for a loan to get it through some bankruptcy filings. That loan amount could be as high as $1 billion. Remember, those are just still reports. It hasn't been officially confirmed yet. But that is just an example of just how distressed this sector really is. And even though we are seeing oil trade just a tad bit higher this morning, really showing you that this is more of a long-term problem. You're even seeing some dividend cuts in the big oil names. Shell, for example, reporting the first, I believe, dividend cut since the Second World War. So quite a big kind of cut. You see the Shell management team actually coming out and saying as well that there could be a fundamental change to consumer behavior. They have to re-strategize. A lot of what you're hearing from American Airlines as well, that this is all about changing the way we live, changing the way these sectors fundamentally operate.
All right, Kriti, thanks a lot for that helpful update. As always, that's Kriti Gupta, and talking about dividend moves, Exxon, another energy company, freezing